big thing we got to talk about here is Blue Yetis. This beast right here. Well, dead beast, more like it. Title says it all, including the emoticon. I am done with Blue Yeti microphones. I've been using this thing specifically since 2011, and it's time to move on. Actually, if you look closely, you can actually see a little bit of oxidation on the microphone. This thing's actually got a little bit of rust on it. That's how long I've had it. It's been through so much Connecticut humidity, being less than an hour from the ocean. So it's going to be a really simple stream tonight. If someone shows up in the chat and wants to say anything, they're more than welcome to. But quite frankly, what we're going to be talking about tonight is pretty straightforward. I'm done with these things. These things right now are back-ordered on various websites because people are trying to podcast and stream and pick up side hustles during the quarantine and the lockdowns and everything. Let's talk about the Blue Yeti. This thing is amazing when it works. It's built like a tank, nice and solid. The knobs haven't gotten scratchy over the years. The button still works for instantly muting things, like when you have to step away, and you want to cut the audio for a bit or something like that, or just cutting the audio just like that by pushing a single button. It's got gain on the back, and it's got a selector switch for the cardioid pickup pattern, and this thing can do all kinds of stuff. So can its successors as well. This is the original. This is the one that all the podcasts were talking about many years ago. And it has tape residue on the bottom because I tried duct taping because of the Achilles heel of this whole design. With as great of a quality product as it is and how well it's built, it has a mini USB port. A mini USB. Let's go back to streamer only for this. It has a mini USB. Let's make sure we get that nicely lit up with the limited lighting we have with this setup. Mini USB. So I've come to associate the itty-bitty USBs with one thing and one thing only: braking. And so, Blue Yeti, discuss it with Blue. April 21st, 2013. So I bought this thing in 2011, got laid off in 2012. This thing was dead by 2013. This thing's already been out for service once, assuming it's the same one. But, yeah. So I'd say this thing's definitely probably out of warranty by now. But let's move on to B&H Photo Video Pro Audio. So here's the kind of pricing we're looking at. It's triple digits for these things. Triple digits, and it'll be higher and stuff like that. And of course, if you order a Yeti nowadays, it's on Newegg, it's serviced through 3PLs, third-party logistics, and still has the mini USB, so it's still prone to the same problems. This thing has had its mini USB die twice, had it sent out and fixed, and now it's back, and now it's dead again. The reason why it has the tape residue, back to full screen, please. The reason why it has the tape residue is because I plugged it in and then taped it so that the cable couldn't move, and I just tried to use it like a hardwired device for the longest time, until eventually there was residue building up. It wasn't really doing anything anyway, so I just took everything off. But yeah, mini USB. But yeah, mini USB. Garbage. Complete garbage. Especially when the Blue Snowball has a D connector. Now those D connectors are the USB cables that are normally on with printers and stuff. And they come with printers and things like that. I've never had one of those break, ever. 20 years of using printers and other devices like that with those USB cables, never seen the D connectors break. It's always these little ones. And the interesting thing is, in response to the unreliability of these itty-bitty connections, USB-C is a thing nowadays. But where is there a Yeti mic with USB-C? I can't find it. It's mini and micro USB, even the new ones. Even the Yeti Nano. So here's the Yeti Classic, as we want to call it, this silver thing. Mini USB. Let's put the web browser back on here. So we have mini USB, and then we head off to Amazon. We go looking for Blue Yetis, and we get literally anything but what Yetis they have in stock. Amazon, biggest e-tailer out there. If I look for Yetis, I want to see Yetis. If I want accessories, I'll type Yeti accessories, not Blue Yeti. And for Pete's sake, if I'm going to buy a Blue Yeti for $100 and change, neither myself nor anybody else who'd be looking for one of these things is going to spend the better part of $3,000 on a microphone. Come on, Amazon. Do you have any idea how to run an algorithm? Nobody who is looking for a microphone in this price range is going to spend $2,600, almost $2,700 on a Sennheiser condenser mic. Come on. Yeah, we go looking for Yetis, and it's everything but. Everything but. Look at this. $76 MXL. I don't care about MXL. I want to see Yetis. Yetis, please. Oh, look, a fuzzy cover for a Yeti. I don't want covers. I want Yetis. Yetis, please. Maono AU902 cardiac. I don't want that. Yetis, please. Yetis, please. And you know what? You know what I think's going on with some of this? There are some listings for some of these accessories like this that say in the product information that they don't support the Blue Yeti. So, Yetis, please. Please. Just show me Yetis, please. Oh, look, a cable. Oh, look. Yeah, Hey, look, I can buy $10 for a 10-foot mini USB, because you have to hunt all over the place to find mini USB nowadays. Pop filter for Yeti, carrying case for Yeti. Oh, look, finally, a blackout edition. But then it's right back to anything but just showing me all the Yetis and letting me be able to compare them. Is there any such thing as comparison shopping on Amazon anymore? Come on, Amazon. What's the story here? Yeti accessories, Yeti kits, broadcasting kits, game bundles that come with a Yeti and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Why? I want to see microphones. That's what I'm here for, and that's what I typed into the search box. Amazon. All right, here's the Yeti X, professional USB mic, but we can see here it is a mini USB. Same problem on the professional version. How much does this thing cost? Available from these sellers. What are they? $215. $215. Okay, so here's the Yeti Nano. Micro USB. The other itty-bitty port. Micro USB. There's the Yeti Nano. I can go into Walmart right now, buy it. $100. Micro USB. Why not USB-C? USB-C was made to be tougher than previous connectors. And don't tell me they can't fit it with all this space right here. The Yeti Blackout Edition, selling all over the place. Mini USB. And one of the things I run into with mini USB is that this middle piece might come off and you'll just have raw pins. That's one of the things that I've seen break the most. Yeti Pro. Nice looking setup. Here it is running off of XLR cables. It runs off a USB or XLR, but I don't see a light on this thing. So, if you buy this thing and you use it through XLR, you don't get to use like the volume knobs or anything because this is all part of the USB part of it. However, if I'm going to spend $200+ on a microphone with XLR, I'm just going to get something other than a Yeti. It's really only the flexibility of the Yeti Pro that is any kind of selling point for it whatsoever. I think just about anybody who knows anything about technology can tell you these things, they shouldn't be flimsy little USB like this. The entire rest of it is nothing like that. If this was a cheap piece of junk, which it isn't, it's built very solidly. I have no scratching in the knob. It's just a little on the loose side, but it's been loose the whole time I've had it. Auto mute thing, got gain on the back, didn't get scratchy. You have the selector switch. This thing's amazing except for the USB port. That is it. That's the one and only problem that I've ever had with this thing. I was worried about the design when I got it in 2011, and it has proven me right twice. So here's the Yeti Pro. Here's the Yeti Pro. It's got the USB, mini USB. And then the Yeti X. Ooh. Micro USB. Again, there have been newer Yeti devices that have come out since this. There have been newer Yeti devices that have come out, and this is backordered until the middle of May. There have been newer Yeti devices that have come out, and they're still running with mini and micro USB on everything. No USB-C. What is the story with that whatsoever, Blue? I just don't know. I just don't know what else I can say about this. Look, ultimately, what these things are, they're appliances. They're sold as whole packages, and they're actually sound devices. You plug them into Windows, and these things are actually, they'll show up as their own sound source. So there have been times when I've actually used this as a DAC just to listen through headphones. The thing is, it's a cool device when it works. If Blue ever fixed the design with these flimsy little USB ports, these things would be recommended as much as things like the Shure SM58, which is a classic, handheld microphone for concerts and stuff. I've known audio guys over the years who, particularly in local churches around here that have the bands and other stuff like that, and they have PAs and all kinds of equipment in them. There'd be some pastors that came in that worked in professional audio for a living, and they came over and they said, I want all these microphones out of here. I want Shure SM58s for everything because it's basically a standard. So it's something. There are standards out there. Now, I could theoretically get the XLR version of this. The problem is that's a couple $100. If I'm going to spend a couple $100 on an XLR microphone and get equipment to go with it, I'm just going to buy the SM7B or whatever it is all the streamers are using. I see Asmongold has one, S-Fan has one, other guys have one. I mean, that thing's, it's like a big little, it's like a little electronic hot dog or something. So the thing is with these things, they're great to start with, but at some point when you get into audiovisual stuff enough, you eventually move beyond all of these, because one of the biggest problems I ever had with a Yeti as my main microphone is it would always sound different through here than it did going out to the audience. And so it was a real struggle trying to get it to where I could hear what everyone else was hearing, like trying to hear myself over the game that I was playing and to get the levels right. Really hard to do. And you can't just use OBS for this, because with a lot of sound systems, you actually get latency. The Blue Snowball is older and cruder, but it would have the same... I like the jack on it a little better, the D connector. Now, I think that would be better, but at this point, I'm just done with these things. I think I want to look at real audio interfaces with XLR cables and preamps and real gear. This is what you start with when you don't know what you're doing yet. But eventually, I mean, there's consumer mixers out there. There's all kinds of other stuff out there. So, and Shure SM7B is that's a standard. The Shure SM58 is the standard for concert mics. They just da-da-da-da sing into it and stuff. For broadcasting, though, that's where the SM7B comes in. So many streamers have that, but it's $400. And then you have to get equipment to support it, so you'll be out $500 probably by the time you have, say, a mixer, and maybe preamps and other stuff to support it properly. The big thing is, though, when you're doing something like this, I mean, I can barely even hear myself with the headset and the mic all the way up. So I can barely even hear myself with this. So it wouldn't work well for playing video games. This thing I've had since 2011, but it's done for at this point. For the second time, I've already sent it for service once. The USB jack died again. So it looks cool. It's nice and hefty, but it's got a flimsy little USB. And eventually even if you're careful with it, after enough plugging and unplugging, see ya. I went out and bought this nice little arm for everything. It's got a shock mount for a Yeti and everything. But now I'm going to see if I can get a shock mount for regular sized mics. That's another thing you run into because of the unique shape of these things. You have to buy stuff that's specifically compatible with the Yeti, and there will be listings on Amazon actually that say that it won't fit the Yeti. All the time that I've had this thing died, but the audio jack has been perfect. It's never gone intermittent, it's never gotten scratchy, it's never done anything. We're going to call it here, and I'm going to get my analog sound setup back up, because this, quite frankly, is the end of an era for me. I want real equipment, and I want standardized equipment. These all-in-one appliances, they just don't cut the mustard. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay, signing off. Thanks for stopping by.